Hey, Curtis,
Hey, Oz.
what movie do you have?
This week's movie marriage, we've got Miami Vice meets the 1980s G.I. Joe cartoon, plus some Land of the Lost remake,
Mm-hmm.
a little pinch of Inglorious Bastards,
Okay.
and all topped off with a dose of Hackers. This week, we're watching Kung Fury.
Very nice movie marriage.
Yeah, I was, as we're talking pre-show, I was really hemming and hawing over this movie marriage.
Yeah, it slipped my mind that it was your week, so I put a movie marriage together.
Oh, yeah.
This was one of those months where I know that the two of us just kind of threw things at the theme.
Yes.
It wasn't so much that I added to, you added to. It's just we just tossed them there and then sorted it out as we go. So I don't remember whose idea Kung Fury was, but in my mind, it's like, I got to get a movie marriage. Completely forgetting I had last week. So my movie marriage
let's hear it.
Was Miami Vice.
Of course.
Plus Sin City.
Nice. Yeah, that works.
I went Jojo Rabbit.
Okay. It's so, but again, and again, as we were also talking pre-show, I had the producers in and I replaced it with Inglorious Bastards.
Yes. I went with Jojo Rabbit. And then my punchline was the Pit Fighter video game for Sega Genesis.
There you go.
Which was one of the first, I think it may have been the first video game that used like motion, like digitized live actors on a blue screen. So
like what they did with Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, but Pit Fighter may have been before. I remember playing Pit Fighter a lot at my cousin's. The game was terrible, but it just was like, that guy looks so real.
Yeah, it's because they shot a real person.
Because they shot a real guy, and you went from there. So welcome back, listeners and viewers.
They also filmed a real guy, too.
They filmed him, too, yeah. Somebody had to...
And then they shot him.
They filmed him as they shot him, so that's how you know you won. Mortal Kombat song is like fatalities. We got to go with it.
I mean, you're going to be literal here.
Only we won't really kill the guy. I could just act. No. Well, this needs to be authentic.
Authentic.
Oh, welcome back, listeners, viewers, to another week of Let's Talk About Flicks, the weekly podcast where we take a monthly theme and we just goof around and talk about things and
Pretty
whatever
much.
we want to do. I'm one of your hosts, Oz.
I'm the other host, Curtis.
And before we get too far, we definitely want to give a shout out to our Patreon subscribers. Don S., Aaron A., Mandy K., Melissa L., Colleen K., and Lyle M.
Yes.
Thank you for your patronage.
Funding the future of Let's Talk About Flicks.
Yeah, for sure. So, Kung Fury. We, like you mentioned at the end of last week, really did ourselves a favor here. Mm-hmm. And it's like 31 minutes long.
Yeah. This one was like, this was a breath of fresh air.
It was nice.
I know you've been busy with work.
Very, very busy.
Again, with me working in a school and everything, school just went back a couple weeks ago and just it's busy. So this was nice. It's like, all right, 31 minutes.
I was talking to my wife about it because she knew I needed to finish it. She's like, I'll drive to the parade so you could finish the movie. I'm like, okay. I don't think we got out of the neighborhood yet.
Done.
I'm like, well, I've got like 2.5 minutes left. And it was right at the end where he flies in.
Yeah. Cut
to credits. And I'm like, oh, I'm done.
Yep. That's it.
And she goes, wouldn't it be nice if all movies were like a half hour long? I'm like, oh, good Lord.
Oh, yes.
Like, oh, man. I go, then it would feel like an hour-long episode of a TV show. It was like, man, who wants to sit through this slog? No, but this is your movie, so I've got the cast of the film.
Yeah, let's hear who's in Kung Fury.
It's David Sandberg plays Kung Fury. Well, I'll let you get into who that is.
Yes.
We've got Jorma Taccone of Lonely Island fame.
Of all people.
Playing Adolf Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
Kung Fuhrer.
He was my Land of the Lost. Plus, plus there's dinosaurs in that movie too. So
there's dinosaurs.
There's a couple things going on here. Yeah.
So Jorma, friend of Jews, Jorma Taccone, plays Adolf Hitler.
Can't cast a Jewish guy to play Hitler.
I wonder if he made that call. Hey, Andy Samberg, I got offered a movie role. Do you care if I play Adolf? I don't see Andy Samberg having a problem with it.
No, I would be shocked.
It's like, you have to do it.
Yes.
Stephen Chu, really nobody that of any there's only outside of like David Sandberg doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. Jorma has one.
Yeah.
Andreas Kalling, the guy that played Thor.
Yeah.
He's probably he's as old as Norse mythology.
Was he also the police chief?
I don't know.
I thought I read that someplace. Maybe not, but
it doesn't say here he was. But like, there's a couple other guys, and then David Hasselhoff.
Yep,
the voice of David Hasselhoff.
The voice of David Hasselhoff.
Yeah,
although he was in the video for the song that he did.
Was in the video for the song. Yeah,
I gotta say, that song, it's
catchy.
It's a brain worm. It gets in there.
Yeah,
because we need some action. If you're gonna make it like a true survivor.
Budget for this 31-minute film is $630,000.
Yes,
to be exact, 630,019. All crowdfunded through what was it, Kickstarter?
Yeah,
it's Kickstarter campaign. The goal was 200,000, more than tripled that, but fell short of the feature film goal of $1 million. Yes. Just a fun movie.
Yeah, just a ton of fun.
But definitely a movie that this movie is either for you or it's not.
Correct. Yeah, there's really not a lot of in between for Kung Fury.
No,
it's either you get the bit or you don't.
Right. And so that's the cast. To elaborate on them a little bit more would pretty much be giving away the entire plot, and I don't want to do that because with a 31-minute movie, you're not anywhere very long.
Yeah, this movie really moves along pretty fast.
And so if I were to elaborate even a little on this actress played this role, it would be just so complicated as to like how'd you get there? But I'll let you get into that. Have fun with this fever dream. I know.
It really is a fever dream of a movie.
Yes.
I mean, it's almost everything was shot against green screen. It has a really unique look to it. It looks like you're watching a video game in some ways.
Yeah, it's got very like kind of a CRT television, like VCR kind of grimy feel to it.
Yeah, well, and it's also like it's supposed to look like it was made in the 80s, but with today's technology, and so it's
hard to sell that.
Yeah,
I get the feel that the plot of this movie was David Sandberg has a kid, and he went to school with this kid on like, take your parent to school day or whatever, and his activity for all of these third graders was, hey, write down something that you think is cool. And they all put it on a note card, and then he just made a movie out of
it. Yeah. Giant gold eagle, check.
Yeah. Dinosaur cop, check. Video game that gets mad at its players, check.
Prehistoric woman with Gatling gun, check.
Check.
Laser raptor,
check. Cartoon Cobra, check.
Nintendo Power Glove, check. All right, so let's get on with the plot here. All 31 minutes of plot here. We open in Miami in 1985. There's three street punks.
Yeah, I love a street punk.
Walking up to you do love your 80s street punks.
I do.
Walking up to a cop car, and they've got like guns strapped all over them and just weapons, and the cop is like, "Hey, you got a license for those?" And one of the street punks is like, "I got your license right here." And he puts a skateboard halfway under the cop car, stomps on the skateboard, which flips the cop car hundreds of feet in the air.
Like 7 stories in the air.
And then as this cop car is just twirling through the air, of course, they all pull out their guns and shoot at it, and it explodes in the air. That's the open of the movie.
And that vibe rolls through the entire thing.
That really is the entire movie, is that kind of bit. We then cut to a man with a big boombox over his shoulder standing outside of a 1980s arcade, just listening to some tunes, and another guy walks up to him with an automatic rifle, just shoots the guy several times in the chest, and the guy falls over, and the guy with the gun catches the boombox and continues to listen to it.
Right.
So, again, that's this movie. That's the bit here.
It could have gone almost like Escape from New York.
Yeah, that could have worked here too. I had the Wizard.
Even though we're in Miami-Dade.
Yeah.
Miami.
Yeah, I had the Wizard in my movie marriage originally. So there's all sorts of things we could do here. We cut inside. There's a couple guys playing again a mid-80s era arcade game called Laser Unicorns. And the player who's playing loses and he gets mad and curses at the video game.
Right.
And the video game screen curses back at him. And then it grows arms and legs and fires, flips the both of the young men off, fires a laser exploding the head of the kid who was playing the game. Like
as the other guy just stands there like all slack-jawed.
Outside, the video game breaks out. It's assaulting people, shooting things everywhere. And a police officer gets on his radio and calls, "We did Kung Fury!" And then he's shot in the head and his head explodes.
Yeah.
We cut to Kung Fury in his like dojo on top of a skyscraper.
His penthouse dojo.
Yeah. And there's it's him sitting in a chair and a pretty woman sitting next to him with her hands kind of on his arm, and he just turns to her and goes, "Yeah, that's my bicep." Again, we're about 45 seconds in, and you can clearly see what this movie is. It's
so not, like 10% of the movie.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, the runtime. We're 10% done in the movie, 45 seconds in. And then, of course, he gets a phone call, from the station, and there's just, a panicked officer screaming on the other end. "There's a video game come to life, killing all these people." And he just, with his hand, with the phone in his hand, just crushes the phone. It just crumbles in his hand.
Just dust. And
the woman asks him, "What are you going to do?" And he responds by looking directly in the camera, "My job.
My job."
So he runs, he jump kicks outside, leaps off the building, falls again, several stories.
Penthouse.
Yes. Falls several stories, uses his gun, shoots at his Lamborghini that's below him. It opens the door by shooting it with the gun.
He somehow lands in the Lamborghini.
In the Lamborghini. And then drives off.
There's a quick 90-degree turn there.
It could have included Wile E. Coyote in there as well in the movie Marriage.
I remember, as a kid, I would watch the Yogi Bear show a lot.
Yep, same with me.
And the opening title sequence of that, at the end of it, Yogi Bear is on a helicopter that's crashing, and right before the helicopter hits the ground, Yogi Bear steps off. And as a child, I spent a ridiculous amount of time thinking that physically should work.
Yeah. I mean, you're not in the object that's falling.
Yeah, I didn't understand inertia and physics yet.
Yes,
but I was
gravity.
I'm like, that makes sense. Why don't you just jump out last second and you're safe? So this is kind of the inverse of that, of falling directly at a stable object. But if you want to land in it, you can't.
There's that Bruce Willis movie from several years ago, Red. Helen Mirren was in it. Brian Cox was in it. And there's a similar
Morgan Freeman, maybe.
Yes. There's a similar scene. Carl Urban was in it. Oof, love me some Carl Urban.
I know you do.
And Bruce Willis is in a car, and it's spinning around. It's just twirling. And the same thing. He just steps out of it. And
and it's so cool looking.
Yeah, and he just steps out and he just does his thing. But
it looks very cool. It makes sense when Winter Soldier does it.
Yeah,
but not so much Bruce Willis.
No, Winter Soldier, yes. Bruce Willis, no.
Not the voice of Mikey, the talking baby from
Look Who's Talking.
Right.
Yep.
Not quite the same.
Doesn't work when it's him or Roseanne Barr.
Yeah. No. But
or Kirstie Alley.
Winter Soldier, not Hudson Hawk.
Not Hudson Hawk. I have a Hudson Hawk story to tell. Well, we could save that for another episode. But I have a very odd occurrence happen to me right after I saw Hudson Hawk in the movie theater. Yeah, we'll save that. This is what we call a teaser in the industry here, folks.
Now you'll definitely want to tune in.
What's Curtis's Hudson Hawk story?
Ooh, I don't even care what next week's movie is. I want to hear that Hudson Hawk story.
Does it involve Kit Kat or Butterfinger?
Snowcaps?
Yeah.
Just make sure you tell it at the end of the episode so they hang around.
So he's in his Lambo. Kung Fury's in his Lambo, driving towards downtown Miami to stop this arcade game that's run amok and is killing people. So
there's no traffic.
No. So he crashes the Lamborghini directly into it, and then they proceed to get in this prolonged fight scene. And because this is supposed to look like it was made in the 80s, there's VHS tracking lines that separate scene to scene, and so it gives you the sense that this fight lasted hours,
right?
When in reality you get these couple second vignettes. He's hanging off a helicopter as it's flying, and he's shooting at the video game, which is in the helicopter. They're in outer space at one point.
Right, like
they're on like skyscraper scaffolding at one point, like those huge skyscraper cranes they use. So, but
like they've been fighting a very long time.
Yes, and finally, though, Kung Fury takes down the arcade game and then puts one bullet in the side of the game, which kills it.
Yeah,
despite everything that came before it.
That's all it took was that.
It's all it
bullet,
took, just in the right spot.
Right.
I also almost forgot. I love how early on when the arcade game comes to life, before Kung Fury gets there, on the game screen it starts flashing insert coin.
Yeah, like bust that payphone.
Yeah, and it just to get a quarter to put it inside of himself,
so that he can keep going.
Yeah. So that's it, and we end with like the shot of it exploding, and Kung Fury does the splits, and it's just bonkers.
Yeah, it's just goofy.
So we then flash back, Oz. After all that, we flash back to a slightly younger Kung Fury. He was a rookie in the squad, and he and his partner Dragon were chasing a ninja down an alley. And during this, Kung Fury, or they corner the ninja. And they're about to arrest him, and Kung Fury turns to Dragon and says, "Dragon, you're like a father to me."
Yeah, you're the best partner I've ever had. It's just about as trite as you can get for like a buddy cop movie.
Incredibly cliche. Cuts to Dragon literally getting cut in half.
This is a pretty cool fact.
Yeah, but not like not symmetrically like you would think. Right. It was like perpendicularly.
Yes.
Like halfway down, kind of to his waist. and so of course, Kung Fury then goes to scream no. He is then, as he says, I was struck by lightning and bitten by a cobra.
Right at the same time in this back alley in Miami.
Yes. And then it flashes, like he gets this like mental image of like Shaolin monks training.
Right.
And and of course he has now been imbued with the power of Kung Fury. In this...
not the same type of Zen state that like Haru was in.
No, not Haru.
No.
Yeah, from 2 weeks ago's episode, Beverly Hills Ninja. Yeah.
Different kind of Buddhist Zen state.
Yeah. Nor Black Dynamite. I threw that before I came in the
room. This movie's played straight.
Yeah. There's no irony or anything here.
No.
And so the ninja recognizes what's happened, and the ninja, because he had charged at Kung Fury just boots him, like 10 feet up the wall there. And the ninja's like, "You're the chosen one." And of course, Kung Fury then grabs him by the shirt and says, "Knock, knock." Who's there? Knuckles. And then punches him like straight up in the air. It's super cheesy, but just dumb fun.
Well, and on top, it's like that like Knuckles joke, like is it funnier because he knew it was cringy when he told it? Like, it's like, I don't know, like almost like when you poke fun of yourself, then fun, it removes some of the venom from it.
Yeah, well, and I think it's kind of like, he just got these powers and he's trying to act the bit. Like this is something that a super powered individual would say, and he just it just doesn't work.
He's not there yet.
He's not there yet. He just became the chosen one. So we cut to the police station. There's some fun, like kind of Miami Vice-esque clips in between, like people on ski-doos, or, like people walking along the beach and palm trees.
Like really high, like like really high gloss, like very bright palm trees against sky, and it's just real, just very straight out of
some fun like Casio cool like music cues in there. And so, of course, I'll like Dirty Harry-esque. Kung Fury's getting shaken down by the police chief. I told you to do it by the book. Like that whole bit.
Oh, yeah.
And the chief is like, I need to rein you in, so I'm going to sign you a new partner. Triceracop. And it's literally an anthropomorphic bipedal Triceratops.
Yeah,
with a police outfit.
With a very fancy, like, dialect.
like very Benedict Cumberbatch-esque. Like,
hello, Kung Fury.
I love how the camera just lingers on him just a tick too long. And of course, Kung Fury just turns back to the chief. I work alone. Yeah. And then he quits. Yeah. He quits. The chief's like, we're going to work with Triceracop. And nope, I quit. In that moment, we cut to a Jorma Taccone wearing a like a white tank top and with one of those like 80s gigantic cell phones talking about it on like the docks someplace, and a gun pushes in from out of frame. Give me your phone. And it turns out it's Hitler in present day 1985. Yes, folks, you heard that right.
Yes.
The Adolf Hitler in present day 1985 who steals the phone. He then calls the police station that Kung Fury was at, and the chief picks up. Is this the police? Yeah. And curses and yells an expletive, and then starts firing his handgun into the phone receiver.
Yeah. He's holding the receiver in one hand as he's shooting bullets at the receiver he's holding with his hand.
Lucky he didn't shoot himself.
Very lucky.
But because physics, the bullets go into the phone and exit in the police station.
Right. Ricocheting all over the place.
Everywhere. It kills the chief.
I love how the phone is like standing up on its line.
It's just bouncing around as the bullets exit from it.
It's like a phone-shaped sprinkler or something.
Basically. And so it's just massacring all the cops in the station until Kung Fury, of course, kicks in the police chief's door and shoots the phone itself.
Yes.
Disabling the phone.
Right. Because he quit the force, but keep your gun.
Yeah, but he hangs on to that. And of course, Kung Fury, being the good cop he is, we need to trace that call.
Yeah.
And another cop was like, that's impossible, until Hacker Man steps in the frame.
Played by Gene Hackman.
Yeah, exactly. Played by Gene Hackerman himself. Danville's own Gene Hackman.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, Danville, Illinois. And so Hackerman says, I can do this. And then we hear Kung Fury say, Hackerman is the greatest computer hacker of all time.
This is where like a Nintendo Power Glove.
Basically. And so they go into Hackerman's like office or workroom or lair. I don't know what word best describes things. And it's just surrounded by mid-80s technology.
Oh, yeah.
There's like just modems sitting around.
Right.
Like,
it's what you have when you're a hacker.
Apple IIe's. And of course he puts on, again, the Nintendo Power Glove. And he says, I can, they trace the call, and it was Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
And then we get Hitler's backstory here in Kung Fury canon, which he did rise to power in Nazi Germany, but then tried to become the all-time Kung Fu master, dubbing himself Kung Führer.
Right.
And so Kung Fury has to enlist Hackerman to hack him back in time.
Yes.
Using this technology Hackerman has available to him. So Kung Fury stands on what is like an 80s era like word processor. It's like a typewriter that's kind of a computer, but kind of not.
Exactly. Very early.
Yeah. And Hackerman hacks him back through time.
And he surfs on it.
Yes. And I love the background here as Hackerman, as Kung Fury is going back in time. It's one of those like 80s, like kind of like a dark blue, like flooring with like the pink grid,
like pink and purple, like never ending grid. Almost kind of like when you're playing pole position and you just keep driving straight and you never get to the horizon line. You never get to the building. It's like that kind of like right in front of you is moving, but you're not actually going anywhere. But yeah, that's what he's rolling on.
Yeah. And so Hacker Man hacks him back in time. Unfortunately, though, Kung Fury goes back too far.
It happens.
His Hacker Man goes, oh no. So Kung Fury emerges thousands of years in the past, Oz. And as he's kind of coming...
Probably more than thousands, but that's all they showed on the screen.
Well, yeah, he goes back, we'll say, way too far.
Too far.
And as he's kind of getting his wits about him, a laser blows up this like word processor that he was standing on and surfing the time stream on, literally surfing the time stream. And he looks up and goes, "Oh, expletive! That's a laser raptor."
Right.
I thought they would extinct thousands of years ago. And it's literally a raptor that fires lasers from its eyes.
And that is that's your exposition. That's how we're like, okay, this is where we are now.
Yeah. Thousands of years in the past where laser raptors are still alive. And that's how Kung Fury is able to orient himself in time.
Right.
And so the laser raptor's eyes light up again, like it's about to fire another shot as Kung Fury kind of steadies himself, draws his fists. However, this laser raptor is then cut down by a machine gun. And out from over this hill that this laser raptor is on rides Barbariana. She's got a great theme song.
She does, complete with theme song and nameplate across the bottom.
She's a killer machine. So she's got this like this like Gatling gun, very similar to like like what Jesse Ventura had.
Yeah.
And so she steps out riding his gigantic wolf.
Yep.
And says, I can help you. And where are you from? And Kung Fury is like, I'm a police officer going after Hitler. And of course she's like, well, you went back too far.
Yeah.
Which indicates that she knows of Hitler.
Right. Yeah, she's aware.
Yeah. Again, there's not
don't think about this movie. Just watch it.
Yes. Yeah. The what's the word I'm trying to think of? Was it anachronisms? Yes.
Yeah. Not a lot of logic in its time frames.
And so she says, I've got another friend who can take you to Asgard, and out steps Katana, who also has an automatic weapon.
Right.
And so Katana, who has like a Viking helmet on, gives Kung Fury a ride on her Tyrannosaurus.
Yes.
So they ride to Asgard, which is basically like a big lake.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And out jumps Thor.
Well, they blow their horn.
Yeah,
like their Viking horn to summon Thor.
Like the Matterhorn.
Yeah, because Thor can help you.
Yes. Thor can help you with the specific dilemma you have. And this gigantic, like 100-foot Thor just like lands in this big lake with a big hammer and everything.
He's like just a ripped 70-year-old man.
Yeah. This dude was jacked.
He was like the kind of jacked that like credit to where credit is due. The guy's in much better shape than I've ever been. But then like battles age as well. So it's like, it doesn't look as good. Like he's physically in great shape, but he's still like age has had its impact.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, like that's kind of curdly.
And Thor himself realizes he's jacked.
Yes,
because after he materializes and lands, he asks Katana and Kung Fury to check out my sweet pecs.
Epic. And then he kisses himself on the bicep.
Yes, he does. He then opens a portal using his hammer, which I don't think they ever call Mjolnir, but his big hammer.
Pretty much, yeah.
To transport Kung Fury to where he was intending to go. And it's
the same portal that Hacker Man opened up for him. So we're back in the time stream.
Yes. So Thor transports Kung Fury back to 1940s Germany, but not before Kung Fury gives Barbariana and Katana a 1980s-esque mobile phone.
And his number.
Yes.
And then it goes into a little infomercial about the phone.
Has 10 memory numbers.
Like 146 channels.
You'd use this phone in your car.
We are now about a minute and a half away from actually the runtime
of the movie.
Runtime,
yes, of Kung Fury. I am really taking my time with this, just knowing it's only a 31-minute movie. So we come to in early 40s Nazi Germany, and we don't initially see Kung Fury come to, but we see two Nazis sitting on a bench. One of them is quite muscular, shaved head, and has kind of a billowy mustache.
Right.
And there's another slender man sitting next to him as well, with kind of wavy hair and a smaller mustache. And they get into a dispute about whose mustache is, I think, more masculine,
more Aryan.
Aryan, yes,
yeah. Which is odd for a 31-minute movie that like this minute and a half.
Yeah, we're gonna take our time with this scene.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, keep going.
And the tougher guy is like, "This is a mustache." Yeah. The other guy's like, "I also have a mustache."
Are you crying?
And he literally starts crying.
Yeah, he's like wiping his tears away because the guy won't accept his mustache for what it is.
And he's like, he threw tears. This is my mustache.
All right,
this is my mustache.
This is an Aryan mustache. No, and then like the other guy's is very Hitler-esque.
Yes.
Like, no, this is an Aryan mustache. No, it's not. This it is.
And then they realize that their tank, which was right next to him, is not there anymore. And we see Kung Fury holding the tank, using the cannon, and then smashes it on top of both of them with the tagline, "Tank you."
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's aware that it's awful, at least. It's not like Mr. Freeze's lines from Batman and Robin, where
chill.
Right.
I'm going to send you to the cooler.
Nice to meet you.
Everybody chill. So inside of this big compound there's thousands of Nazi soldiers in there. They're all wearing these like gas masks.
Yeah. Almost look kind of plague doctor-ish.
Yeah, kind of World War I era masks.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that they're in the 40s here. And of course, Hitler is up on stage with a big podium.
Screaming and yelling.
Yes. And as he's getting everyone riled up, Kung Fury drops in, rips off a guy's arm.
First tells him, I'm going to disarm you.
Yeah, yes, of course. Then literally disarms him.
Yes, then
pulls his arm off, turns it into a helicopter so he can fly further into the compound using the man's arm as the propeller blade.
Yeah. It might work. I don't know physically if that would work. But I also don't know that it won't work.
I get, like, I've never seen anyone try it, so it's one of those I can't rule out that you can use a human arm as a helicopter blade.
I've never seen anyone fail at an attempt of that either.
Uh-huh. So by the transitive property,
innocent until proven guilty, I suppose.
that's the right analogy.
Yeah.
Then so Kung Fury, lands after using this man's arm as a helicopter, and then we get, for my money, Oz, the most fun sequence in this movie, where it's like it's 2D, and it's like a side-scrolling video.
Oh
game.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It's like a beat 'em up, early '90s arcade game, like a Final Fight or Ninja Turtles.
Could have thrown Old Boy in your movie Marriage.
Yeah. There you go, or like Double Dragon.
Yeah,
and it's just him with dozens of Nazis coming at him from his left and from his right as he's fighting them all off. Very highly stylized, just a lot of fun.
Do you like those? Did you like those kind of video games where it's side scrolling like that, but where the villain, like the monsters or whatever, could come at you from the front or the back?
I thought it was fun.
Because with Mario, of course, everything's in front of you. You don't, unless you jump over it, you don't have to worry about what's behind you.
Yeah.
I know you're a huge Mega Man fan. Was Mega Man? I remember most of the time Mega Man being forward based.
Usually Mega Man you were in front.
I really like the Castlevania games, and Castlevania games were notorious for that. Like, you had to watch your back too.
Yeah. those Medusa heads that would fly in and zigzag.
Yes, you had to watch your back. Zombies coming at you. But then at the same time, you could farm forever.
Yeah.
Because they would just keep coming. You just stand in one spot, fight left and right. But yeah.
Get a lot of hearts for your boomerang.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's fighting these guys from left and right. And so I forget what the line is. He rips a guy's spine out.
Right.
And he says something like it's holding your back or like something cheesy like that.
It takes a spine. Yeah.
Or
it's got your back.
That's right. Yeah. You don't need that spine. It's holding your back. I just found
it's holding you back.
It's holding your back.
It's so dumb.
Yeah. Hitler, after Kung Fury's taken out dozens of these guys, dozens of Nazis, Hitler's podium, like a flap comes down and he's got like a Gatling gun, a fully automatic weapon in there, and just mows down dozens of Nazis, but also kills Kung Fury.
Yeah, gets everybody.
Yeah, everybody in this vicinity. And as Kung Fury is dying, Hitler goes, "Thank you, guys." It's like, they're all cheering him on. So as Hitler is gloating and Kung Fury seemingly perishes, the giant Thor emerges in the compound along with Barbariana, the Tyrannosaurus, Katana, Hacker Man.
Right, Triceracop.
Yes. And Hacker Man like transforms himself into this like video game avatar.
Yeah, it's very much like the arcade game that came to life earlier.
Yes, kind of similar to that. And they all start fighting all of these Nazis. And I love some of that. Like Hacker Man's gun like digitizes the Nazis. Like when he shoots them, they just turn into little like 8-bit blocks and they just fall apart. It's so fun.
It reminded me of like Spider Slayer when J. Jonah Jameson took his metal form.
Yeah, you're pretty close with there. I also love
I think I'm spot on, actually.
You are spot on. Not pretty close. You are spot on. That was J. Jonah Jameson.
That's nice try. Nice try. That was really close.
Call me on my BS. I also love Triceracop during this. He just has his like standard police issue handgun.
It's like...
and he's shooting Nazis, but the only place he's shooting them is directly in the groin.
Right. Every shot.
Every shot is hitting a different Nazi in the groin. And one of them is there, and he like puts both of his hands over his groin, and he's like, no. And Triceracop shoots him once in each shoulder, which forces his hands back just so he can shoot him in the groin. So while all of this is going on, Hacker Man comes across Kung Fury's body. It says it's too late. We then cut to an animated Kung Fury.
Yes.
Coming to in this animated afterlife. And I used the 80s era G.I. Joe cartoon in my movie marriage for this moment.
Yes.
So it's completely animated.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like G.I. Joe, Transformers, Mask,
He-Man,
your mid 80s cartoons.
Just real quick and dirty animation.
Yeah. And so he's there, and there's hover bikes and like vehicles everywhere, and a gigantic cobra wearing a cape comes down on this like levitating device and says, Kung Fury, you're dead. You're in the afterlife. And then I, this cobra, am your spirit animal. Kung Fury then just kind of casually tells the cobra, I'm a cop. I'm going to need you to bring me back to life.
Right.
And the cobra is like, yeah, I can't do that. And then Kung Fury goes full like Dragon Ball Z on him.
Yeah.
And it's like you're under arrest. He then does he drop kicks this gigantic cobra, and his consciousness ends up back in his real body, and he comes to,
right,
with Hacker Man right there, back in the real world. And as he does so, Hacker Man says, I hacked away all your bullet wounds. So you're not sure if it was Hacker Man who saved him, if it was Kung Fury saving himself, a little bit of both, but Kung Fury is back alive.
Hacked away your bullet wounds.
I hacked away your bullet wounds.
That's right. Just few important keystrokes, and you can take that all away.
Control Alt Delete, my friend. So Kung Fury confronts Hitler. Hitler's the only one left there along with the heroes. And he's trying to sweet talk his way out of it, Oz. And he's like, we both have cool style. We both wear red.
Yeah, we have red.
So that's cool. We both like doing sweet kicks. Like, we could be brothers. Kung Fury then punches Hitler right in the junk.
Yeah.
And just as Thor is about to swing his gigantic hammer down to smash Hitler, this giant golden eagle, which is like one of the Nazi symbols, had come to life.
Like made of gold, not color gold.
Yes. Yeah. Made of like metallic gold.
Yes.
Comes to life and covers Hitler, and the hammer comes down. And when he picks it up, there's no remains of either of them there.
Right.
And they all assume, well,
we win.
Job well done. They have a laugh. Kung Fury's like, looks like it's going to be a lot of paperwork. and
Getting too old for this.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Kung Fury and Triceracop hug. The T-Rex has a line here, and the T-Rex goes, teamwork is very important.
Yeah, Kung Fury even says it to Triceracop, like, basically, I'm sorry, you're the best partner I've ever had. Like, it's just some really gushy like, they've literally never worked together until right now.
Until the last 5 minutes.
But you're literally the best partner I've ever
had. We cut back then to 1985, Oz, and Kung Fury is once again in his Lamborghini, once again on his way to fight this arcade game. We do get a little moment of him in the car, which we didn't get before, on his way to fight the arcade game. And he's exchanging witty barbs with his car's AI.
Yes.
Called the Hoff 9000, because it's refusing to open the Lamborghini doors for him.
Open the door.
And he's just, no. And then, of course, the Hoff 9000 just tells him, didn't anyone ever tell you not to hassle the Hoff 9000?
Hey.
So he defeats the same arcade game, and there's a little deja vu going on here. Was it the same cat?
Yeah.
Hitler again materializes in the alley, but this time he's with the big golden eagle. And as Kung Fury goes to shoot the arcade game in the head like he did before, he notices there's a Nazi emblem on the game.
Right.
And Kung Fury kind of comes to and realizes, wait a second, Hitler's back.
Right.
And then we get a wide city shot of Hitler riding the Golden Eagle right into the camera as he's laughing. And that, folks, is 2015's Kung Fury. I think we spent as much time on the plot as we did the runtime of the whole movie.
Yes, I want to give a thanks to those of you that are like, instead of watching Kung Fury, you've just listened to us talk about it for the same duration. So we love you too.
All right, Oz, any final thoughts?
No, it's just this movie it's what it is. Like, it's not going to be anybody's favorite movie, but it's definitely one that if you would get it, if you enjoy stuff like this, it's a nice tickle. Like, it's just, that was fun. Yeah. I love what you did there. And then you move on. Like, this isn't a life-changing, thought-provoking film. This is just, hey, those guys
just silly, stupid.
Had a lot of fun. Yeah.
I will say, as this movie's aged a little bit, I find myself rolling my eyes a little bit more.
I do too.
Than I did initially. But I mean, it's still fun. Don't get me wrong.
It's got that punch the first time you watch it, especially for guys like you and I that just eat up this kind of stuff. We're just like, oh my God, like this is the greatest thing. And then, then it does get, it's a one-trick pony for sure. So choose accordingly. Like, don't revisit this too often because it'll tarnish and wear off.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, folks, each week Oz and I give our own unique rating to the film we've watched and have been yapping about. So, hey, Oz, how would you rate Kung Fury?
I'm going to give this 2 prehistoric babes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Barbariana and Katana.
That's right.
They did really babe them up, too.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Like Barbariana had like a black bikini on.
Yeah.
And and she had like a wolf cloak or something kind of over it, and she had like war paint under her eyes.
Yeah. They're sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's cool though. I mean, it just shows, I don't know when breast implants started, so maybe they've been around forever.
Well, again, it was 20,000 years in the past that they knew of Hitler, and
yeah, they were aware.
They called Kung Fury Future Cop.
That's true. So they're aware.
Yeah.
So what do you got for your rating?
I'm gonna give this at Hoff 9,000 for my rating.
Fair enough.
Yep, Hoff 9,000. All right, hey, next up, folks. Oz and I have been scouring the interwebs, searching for unprofessional reviews that tickle our funny bones, and we hope they tickle yours as well in our next comedy segment, Outside Insights. Hey, Oz, what is your outside insight?
I have 3 very short ones.
Okay.
This first one is from Captain Capybara.
All right.
He says, "This is the most movie a movie has ever movied, and it's legendary. Half star."
Half star. Captain Capybara.
Yeah. The
world's largest rodent.
Capybara. Right, yeah. It's the captain of them. The second one is from Bebop Doobop. I don't think Nazi jokes are funny. Half star.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
And this last one is from TV Destroy, or Des and Troy, if you prefer your Carl Urban wrap around. I watched it, ate a pastrami on rye sandwich that was a little dry. After I went back in time and stopped myself from eating that sandwich. Half star.
That reminds me of a Simpsons Halloween episode where they get the monkey's paw and they can make wishes on it. And of course, all of their wishes are turning out horribly.
Yeah.
And so there's one left, and Homer's like, all right, I'm going to get this last one right. You know, I want a turkey sandwich, and I want this on it, and I want this on it. And he's even like, I don't want to be turned into a turkey. And so he gets the sandwich, and he takes a bite, and he's like, not bad. Turkey's a little dry. The turkey's dry.
Like ruins the sandwich. Yeah. So, those are my outside insights. Yes. What do you have, sir?
Well done, Oz. I have 2 I'm going to share. Right. They are both from the Internet Movie Database, as all of my outside insights are, because I'm too lazy to look at other sources.
I go back and forth, but if there's Amazon reviews, I'll go there. Otherwise, I go to Letterboxd.
Yeah. Yeah, we have our wheelhouses for our reviews.
We do, for sure.
And I do like that we look in different places, too, because that means we'll never have the same ones. Yeah.
Knowing that you are too lazy to go anywhere but IMDb, I'll look elsewhere.
Yeah.
Don't want to get well, we've had one time we got each other the same gift, like with these outside insights.
Yeah.
I don't remember what movie it was, but I remember being like, oh my God, this is the greatest one. And then you started reading yours, and I was like, crap, I got to go find another one. Read slower.
Yeah.
What do you got?
All right. My first of the 2 I'm going to share this week is a 1 out of 10. This is left from Demer Charles in May 2015, so pretty recently after it came out. And the subject line, 1 out of 10 review, possibly the worst movie ever made.
Okay.
You know, when you try so hard to do a joke, it ends up a pathetic failed attempt. Make it 10 times worse, and you have Kung Fury. For some reason, this movie has been hyped up beyond belief. Thanks, Reddit. Not. with no justification. It simply tries too hard and it fails. It's a pain to watch, and even more painful to see all the fanboys destroy all the real reviews. I expect this to be not useful by all the fanboys, but when the truth hurts, the fanboys downvote.
Fanboys.
Yeah.
Fanboys.
Thanks, Reddit.
Yeah, you loser.
Not.
I have a not joke.
My other outside insight I'm going to share this week is a 10 out of 10 from the Internet Movie Database.
Spectrum.
Left by 13 fun bags in August.
It's Barbariana.
She's a killer machine. Left in August 2018, so a couple years. This person's review had time to simmer. And the subject line for this one is the best thing ever, as opposed to the worst movie ever made in the first one. This one, the title says it all. This is a movie that must be seen. Trying to explain it would be pointless. It's easy to find on sites that have videos and stuff.
All right.
Videos and stuff.
Found this at Ace. I watched it on an Ace Hardware's website, right next to the videos on how to spool a weed eater.
Was it I think their grocery store, like the big chain grocery store in Parks and Rec, wasn't it called Food and Stuff?
Yeah. I think that's right.
Videos and Stuff was right next door.
Right next door.
Right next door. All right. Hey, folks, it is that point in the show you've all been waiting for. The Let's Talk About Flicks signature segment, the 3-2-1, in which Oz and I each share 3 goods, 2 bads, and 1 about this week's movie, 2015's Kung Fury. Hey, Oz, what are your 3 goods?
My first one is the synthwave soundtrack.
Yes.
I like synthwave music.
Yes.
I will listen to it like even when I'm in the shower. Like it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't. I don't. I just like that aesthetic. Like the music just sounds purple. Like it's just got.
I almost just spit
I know you
the
did.
cafe all over my work computer.
I may or may not have been watching the screen when I dropped that one. But it's just something about that aesthetic, that synthesizer music. It just has this vibe. And I just like that vibe. So
yes, yeah, I get it. I completely agree with you.
So to rock that soundtrack was just fun.
Nice.
My second one is the creativity and delivery of this. It's one thing to come up with these ideas, but knowing that David Sandberg like pretty much did it all is like good for you. You had a vision in your head, you delivered that vision. I even said it last week with Black Dynamite, like you've got an idea and you deliver on that idea, and it's like that's 2 pieces of that puzzle that don't always come together in a how do I want to like a offshoot kind of film like this. They always come together for like Oscar stuff, but those are so like generic feeling in terms of things. That,
I like that comp to last week's not a martial arts movie, Black Dynamite. It was just again, it was someone's vision. Yeah, they had a very specific vision for how something should work, and they pulled it off.
And it's just
good comp.
I love it when that happens because I'm sure it doesn't happen more often than not.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of movies, not only in this show, but even outside of the show. We've seen a lot of bad movies. And I feel like most of the time the bad movies have a decent idea. They just can't deliver it. And so this one, fun idea, delivered it in fun, and it was good. And my third is just the dumb dad joke puns, like because they knew they were dumb and goofy and delivered them in such a way that they were groan inducing, and that's what kind of made them funny again. So those are my 3 goods. What do you got?
Thank you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's my bicep.
Oh, I think my 3, I'm gonna go with the first one is just the camera lingering on Triceracop just a little too long. And they only do it a couple of times. There's the first time where they introduce him to Kung Fury in the police office or in the station in the beginning. And the camera sticks on him just a little too long as he's like trying to shake Kung Fury's hand, and Kung Fury's just having none of it. And then at the end, when they materialize from the time stream, like you see the Tyrannosaurus, you see Thor, you see Hacker Man, and then you see Triceracop, and he just has his little standard issue gun, and the camera just sticks with him a little too long, and they cut the sound, so it's just him kind of like getting his gun out and just kind of looking around. So that's my first one. Camera lingering on Triceracop too long. My second one, and I did mention this a little bit before, is Hitler a couple of times says, "Thank you guys."
Like he's a performer.
Yeah. Like just to the thousands of Nazis in attendance at this big rally that he's throwing. Thank you guys. And then my last good is that David Hasselhoff song, True Survivor.
I know, you're a big fan.
Banger that song is. I've been singing that song all week to Patreon subscriber Melissa L. And I got to tell you, Oz, she loves it. She can't get enough of me singing True Survivor around the house. Yep.
Again, please. Again.
I can't get enough David Hasselhoff.
She puts her hands up on the table and just a little...
Take me away, Hoff 9000. So those are my 3 goods, my friend. What are your 2 bads?
I kind of mentioned it a little bit when we were talking about it, but that mustache scene,
it went a little too long.
Yeah, it's just a little too long.
Yeah,
and it's like it just, I get the joke. It was fun there. You're watching it, but it just, in a fast-paced, quick-cutting, 31-minute movie, that's probably the longest the camera stayed on one thing was this joke.
And I think half the dialogue in the movie was in that 90 seconds.
It felt that way.
Yeah.
And so that's my first bad. Is it's like, it's not like they had it to pad the runtime.
Yeah.
You know? But it's like, okay, I get it. But it's like, oh, all right, let's wrap it up. Let's go.
Well, I also kind of felt like, you can tell what they wanted this movie to be. You could tell what the bigger 90-minute vision was.
Oh, for sure.
And the things that they cut and the things that were, really quick, like them riding the dinosaur, that was 3 seconds, but I almost get the feeling like this is the one non-negotiable. Like, we're doing this full scene the way it was written for the 90-minute script.
Like this was the movie. We'll build around this.
Yeah, yes. This is the hill we're dying on. Yeah. Is the Aryan mustache?
Yeah, it was just kind of goofy. Yeah. But that's your comments there segue into this. My second bad. I can't tell if this movie's long enough or not.
Yeah,
like I would almost be afraid what a 90-minute movie of this would be. Mm-hmm. And they've made movies similar to this. I know like Turbo Kid is one. I think Michael Ironside might be in that one.
Michael Ironside?
I think so. I better look real quick before I start.
With or without arms?
Hold on. I got it pulled up here.
Does he explode anyone's head in this movie? I hope so.
Yeah, Michael Ironside plays Zeus.
As opposed to Thor.
But characters in this movie are the Kid, Apple, Zeus, Skeletron. Like, in a post-apocalyptic wasteland of 1997, a comic book fan adopts the persona of his favorite hero to save his enthusiastic friend and fight a tyrannical overlord. I've seen a lot of comps in my look of Turbo Kid to Kung Fury when I was looking for bad reviews, and a lot of them are like, this movie wishes it was like Turbo Kid. So movies have been done in this vein, but I'm sure that there was a plot like this. There really wasn't a plot to this other than kill Hitler. So that's my second bad. Is I can't really tell if this is long enough or not. It was long enough for me, but like I alluded to it earlier, the more and more you watch it, the more and you see the cracks. And so that's my second bad. It's kind of a scapegoat, but
sure.
I don't want Kung Fury 2 in its full 90-minute glory to ruin what this is.
Sure.
This lightning in a bottle moment that David Sandberg had.
Yeah.
So that's my second one. What do you got?
Well, speaking of, one of my bads is, when are we going to get Kung Fury 2?
Fair.
I hope it works.
I'll definitely watch it.
I have similar concerns as you. I hope it works. But this movie, and I'm jogging back and forth between Wikipedia and IMDb, they have done Kung Fury 2. They've shot it. The principal photography took place 5 years ago.
Oof.
Again, this episode is being recorded in September of 2024, and this was filmed 5 years ago, Kung Fury 2. And I'm just reading here, post-production work was stopped in September of 2020 due to a lawsuit, and it was finally completed literally a couple of months ago in April of 2024. But they still haven't resolved all of the legal issues, so there is no official release date, despite the fact that the principal photography was done 5 years ago.
I'm not curious enough to dig into it, but I'm curious, like, what are the lawsuits? Like, what's the hang up here? Because Sandberg's directing it, and this is based on his short, so it's not like the rights of like the Friday the 13th franchise that got held up between who owns the rights. But it's like, I'm curious, like, what's the holdup? Yeah. There's got to be something in there. But...
Yeah, I'm looking around. I don't see anything here in the couple of things I got pulled up. Right. This is legal issues, but like Arnold Schwarzenegger, is in it. He plays the president. Alexandra Shipp, who was Storm in the most recent X-Men movies, is in it. Jorma Taccone is back in it. David Hasselhoff is back in it. Sandberg is back as Kung Fury. Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
Yes, that Michael Fassbender.
Magneto
also
himself.
Yeah, so Storm and Magneto are in this. He's playing Colt Magnum, Kung Fury's new partner.
Oh,
so
that means Triceracop isn't back.
Yeah, well, maybe he's the one who gets cut in half perpendicularly.
And as he falls backward, his tongue is still sticking out.
Yeah, and you see the steam from the heat from the body heat escaping too.
Yeah.
So that's my first bad. Is when are we going to finally get Kung Fury 2?
That's good bad.
And my other bad is, and I think was it one of your outside insights mentioned it. I don't think it's as bad as that person made it out to be, but I do think there's a little too much reliance on Nazis for punchlines.
Yeah,
you gotta be careful. And I forget what movie it was that we several months ago we reviewed something else with Nazis in it, and I forget what it was. But it's you got to be really careful and have a really light touch to pull off humors that involve Nazis, Hitler, any reference to anything in that era of time.
Was it Three Men and a Little Lady?
Was that it?
I think it was.
Was it 3 Men and a Little Lady? Yeah, when they really got into Gutenberg's backstory. Right. That's right, folks. I just insinuated that Steve Gutenberg. Yeah, but again, I think this movie does a decent job at it, but I think it's there's just a little too much, and
right. I get
so you. Again, you've like the producers got it right. Like they're the best example of how to properly, like make fun of Nazis that believe.
Jojo Rabbit did a decent job of it too.
There you go. There you go.
Of like, let's just make Adolf Hitler a plaything.
Yeah,
but imaginary. Like we still live in the hellhole that he's created. But what if we imagined he was fun?
Yeah. So those are my two bads, Oz. What's your
why are laser raptors extinct, but triceratops can be cops? I would think a laser raptor would bring more to the table for survival than a triceratops. But maybe it's the ability to speak. I don't know. But that's my Why are laser raptors extinct, but triceratops exist?
Okay. Well, I'll buy that.
What's your
That's a good question. My
everything else was just button tight. Like I had no other questions of the happenings of this film.
No other with this movie.
Everything made complete sense.
I just realized the I had was also one of my bads. So the I had was, when are we going to get the feature movie with Fassbender and Arnie? So this is my on the fly. Oz, did you know anyone that actually owned a Power Glove?
No.
I didn't either.
No.
Like, I don't know if I've ever seen a Power Glove in real life.
In life.
Yeah.
In the wild.
In the wild, yes. So, like, I guess that's my Like,
that's a good
where would one have acquired a Power Glove? Like, is this something like for the 1%?
I did have a friend that had the track and field pad.
Yes, I had a friend that had that as well, the Power Pad.
But like, I never had a friend that had the G.I. Joe, like
the aircraft carrier
either. So I mean, maybe that kid.
He's got the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier
and a Power Glove.
And like the Autobots big base that they had.
Yeah. That too. But other than that, or had Grayskull and
Snake Mountain.
And Snake Mountain.
Yeah.
I had Snake Mountain.
You did? I had Grayskull.
Oh, we should have been friends.
We should have been friends. Why didn't we grow up together?
I don't know. Good Lord, you imagine that? Like that would have been pretty awesome.
Oh my God. You would like 11-year-old Oz with 11-year-old Curtis. That would have been
that would have been wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was a good kid, I didn't get involved in any riffraff and dumb stuff. But yeah, it would have been.
Well, I mean, I would argue dumb stuff, but that was more like silly dumb, not like mean dumb.
Right. Yeah, that would have been pretty wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, hey Oz, we got one more week of is it a martial arts movie?
Yeah, so, you're right, we do.
Yeah, we do have one more week. What movie are we going to talk about next week?
This movie here, like Kung Fury, is written and directed by the same person.
Yep.
And like Kung Fury 2 was filmed way before it was released.
Way before, yes.
We are going to watch the very obscure. Like, I will be shocked if anybody in our listenership has even heard of this movie.
It doesn't have a Wikipedia. It's on IMDb, but it's not on Wikipedia.
Not only that, even on IMDb, there's only 140 ratings of this film. That's it. We are going to watch, because it is not a martial arts movie month.
Yes.
We are going to watch Ninja Zombie.
Mm-hmm.
the 1992 filmed, but like 20, what'd you say, 20?
I think it was like, it didn't get
2015 release.
Yes.
1992 filmed and 2015 released. Like it's a ninja zombie movie.
Yeah. Filmed in Antioch, Illinois, almost exclusively in Antioch, Illinois.
On
45 minutes from where I'm located.
On a Super 8mm camera.
Yep.
I do not, you've seen this already.
I have watched it. And I will say it's bad, but it's not awful bad. It's got some fun elements to it.
Yeah, because this is a movie that I am curious about for sure. Yes. You can find it. Looks like it's streaming on Apple TV. That's about the only place you're going to find it. And so you are able to watch it on the Screenbox Amazon channel.
I will say, as I was taking notes on my goods, bads, and haws, I have 10 possible goods for this movie.
Okay, that's good.
So for what that's worth, I have 10 possible goods.
I think I already have a bad. It doesn't have a Wikipedia page.
It's filmed in Antioch, Illinois, the armpit of the world. No,
that too.
Nothing personal with Antioch. You make good pizza. There is a local pizza chain that's called Antioch Pizza. Free publicity. Shout out to Antioch Pizza.
Yeah, there you go. If you want to sponsor the channel or just drop as a Patreon.
Future sponsor, Antioch Pizza.
I think it's funny because they're on IMDb. There is the official site kicks you over to their Facebook page, Ninja Zombie the movie, with 1,100 followers.
Okay.
None of I don't know. I'm excited to watch it though. Last update on the page, January 2021. So, but yeah, Ninja Zombie will be the final movie of non-martial arts movie month. We will also reveal our October theme.
Yeah,
which
we got a fun October theme.
I think we do. We'll give you a little hint. October is the month of Halloween. It's not Halloween themed.
No,
but it get the vibe.
It captures. It definitely captures
the vibe of an October. So
yes, it definitely does. And I think it'll be probably one of our classiest months too.
Oh, by far. Yeah, easily. Top to bottom by far. Yeah. And it was tough deciding on the movies for next month.
Yes, because we'll say the creative team involved has put out a lot of good stuff.
Very, very much so. So we will be back next week to talk about Ninja Zombie. Social media-wise, you guys can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Patreon link down below if you'd like to join the Patreon army. And we do want to give a shout out to all lovely folks over at the Chicago Indie Critics Organization. Those that have found us in our infancy and have helped raise us to become the podcasters we are today.
Yes.
So we do love those guys over there.
Thank you for providing us the nourishment.
Yeah, lots of great minds over there.
Yeah.
And so make sure to check out, if you want some good substantial input on film, go there. If you want to watch us talk about Ninja Zombie, stay here.
Stay here. Yeah, we got good stuff here too.
Well, what's nice is you can do both.
So, this isn't an either or.
Because they're not talking about Ninja Zombie.
No, I will say they're not talking about Ninja Zombie.
No, they're covering other stuff, like whatever stuff they're covering.
Not Ninja Zombie.
I don't want to spoil what they're doing. Go check them out. But no, for another week of Let's Talk About Flicks, I'm Oz.
I'm Curtis.
And we'll see you guys next week with Ninja Zombie.
That's my bicep.